Hello, everyone, and welcome to CIO Leadership Live Australia. I'm Byron Connolly, and today I'm joined by Sami Yalovac, who in May moved into the role of Interim Managing Director of Bupa Australia's Health Services portfolio, following the departure of incumbent Dwayne Crombie. Now, Sam has been with Bupa since 2006 when he started working as a developer and project manager before grabbing the CIO position in 2016. And that was a position he held until a couple of months ago. He's now responsible for all of Bupa's health provisioning businesses, including optical and hearing, dental, visa medical services, which are provided on behalf of the Department of Home Affairs, health services for the Defence Forces and veterans, and digital health services. So it's a big portfolio. Sami, welcome to CR Leadership Live Australia.
Thank you very much, Byron, and good morning, Gold. How are you, Byron?
Very good, and it's great to have you, Sami. Let me start off by asking, why do you think you were selected for this role? And I know it's early days, but how are you finding it so far?
Sure. Look, I was always naive, putting my hand to do things I never done before all my life, and this is just one of them. Despite I'm a technologist over 30 years, I always have more interest on the people, who are the customers, what's the big game here, what exactly we are delivering, which makes the job much more interesting for me. And I put my hand many years ago, actually, with my management that one day I want to manage one of Bupa's businesses whenever that opportunity comes up. So we were looking for that opportunity, and that was the day with Dwayne's departure and retirement decision. And as it's a big role, they want to take their time, look for a proper leader. So appointed me as an interim manager. But time is getting longer. As time getting longer, who knows what will happen next? I might be stuck here forever.
Yeah, sure, for sure. Hey, listen, is Bupa actively looking for someone to take up this MD role? I know that permanently. I know that it's an interim role, as we said. Do you think you're going to be considered for it? And more importantly, is it something that you want to do in your career?
Sure. Look, there is a search happening, but as this is a big portfolio and there are multiple expectations, including being the successor for the CEO of Asia Pacific, this is taking time, and we couldn't get chance so far for a good candidate. I think as time passes, I feel like I have a bigger chance to stay in the role. If the offer come to me, stay, definitely I will. I really enjoy what I'm doing. The main difference is with the CIO role, I was able to involve everything in the business, every single activity. Whereas this is a narrow focus because a number of specific businesses you look after, but it's end to end, much deeper. And I love able to interact with customers. I love able to influence the strategy, work with people. It's a more than 5,000 people workforce with contractors coming to the 7,000, significant geographic location dispersed, and you understand business much better and the challenges. So I really enjoy. But if I have to return back to my role, it's still a dream job for me. It's a really big role. It's a very important role. It's still an exec team level role. So really, I don't see a scenario I'm losing. I think if I return back, I'll be a much stronger CIO, having that side of the picture, understand things from business perspective. So it's still a good scenario for me.
Mm. And in your view, Sami, what are the skills that CIOs and other senior tech leaders need to move into these sort of leadership roles? I mean, generally it's like the CFO or senior sales leaders that kind of move into these roles more than IT people. But what in your view are the key skills that are required?
Sure. Look, my view on that is regardless of you want and you will move to an MD role or not, every single CIO should look after themselves as a business leader first before they think they are managing the technology. A couple of reasons. The first reason is everything is relying on technology nowadays. There is no successful business will be running without a successful technology operations and successful technology delivery. But to be able to do it, it's not just the pure technology. Technology is just a vehicle. You really need to understand business. You really need to understand your customers, their pain points, the competition in the market, what is happening. So you and your team can put meaningful offerings on the table. Because business knows their side, but they don't understand technology. Whereas we have the advantage of knowing tech, but also we can learn business so that we can contribute to innovation, we can contribute to strategy discussions, give the direction to company, what's best bet to do, rather than passively waiting orders from the business. So I think if a CIO and their leadership team understand business well, and join the conversations in a proactive way at the business level before you come to technology, then people start seeing you as a business leader. And you have to see yourself first so that others will change on you. Then people naturally seeing you and thinking you as a business leader. There was a meeting actually I joined, and after the meeting, there was some guests over there. And when we were like meeting personal level, and when the person heard that I'm the CEO, he said, I'm really surprised. I thought you are one of the MDs in this business because all your questions, comments was about business. I didn't even felt you are the CIO. I think that should be the feeling for your peers, for your CEO day by day. This guy is here to make my business successful rather than representing technology.
Yeah, and it's a great position to be in, that's for sure. Now, Sami, you mentioned to me yesterday that the main issue is CIOs and other tech leaders is perhaps that they don't have the right mindset to invest in spending time to learn more about the business, as well as the right governance operating plan to insert themselves into the right discussions. Can you elaborate a little bit on what you mean there? Why do you think this is the case?
Sure. Look, first of all, we all come from, as technologists, being really successful what we do, maybe a great developer, great system administrator, so on. And we became a leader, and some of the CIO roles in the exec team, some not. And I strongly believe every single business have a technology leader in their top management team, whatever they call it. And these people should really find a seat on the relevant leadership levels. It's not just the exec team CIO sits there. Their direct reports should sit the relevant business leadership roles. If you do it, you have a chance to influence the strategy. You have a chance to understand what's the real game here, what's the real exam question. Then you can carry this to your teams. Then your team proactively joining that innovation game or addressing the problems, or they can say, hang on a minute, there's a better way to address this problem. Or they can start searching the market that what others doing to solve similar problems here? What are other maybe solutions in different industries that I can bring to my business here? Most of the technology team, heads down, they are really busy. They don't have time even looking the rest of the world, what's happening, let alone their own business, which is really creating a situation is they are not really contributing the game. They are not really true business partners, almost like we live in our own world. We are too busy solving our problems today rather than helping our colleagues. So obviously you have to do well what you do. This is why we are here. So we can ignore that core job, but without stepping out, changing our mindset as business leaders and changing the conversations with business and them to understand that actually these guys are at our side, not people creating costs for us, trouble for us, then the conversation will change. Then they will invite us the meaningful conversations. Then we have a chance and we're less complaining that business going their own way. They don't listen to us. They do their own selections of technology. They want to work with other vendors, blah, blah, but actually we are the source creating that problem. So this is why I'm thinking this way. And in terms of governance, we have to make sure whenever these critical decisions happening, strategy, prioritization, etc., we should be there. We have to insert our people. What I have done, and I strongly recommend my CIO colleagues, I agreed with 5 principles with my business, with the exec team and with the board. Principle 1 is me and my direct reports and their direct reports will sit in the relevant leadership teams, whatever the top level of decisions made. Number 2 is all the technology selections will be happening at our side. Of course, we will consult business with collaboration, not dictate that. But without our sign-off, no technology decisions will be made. Number 3 is no one will hire any technology resources. Even we insert those resources in the business, they will be sourced by technology. Number 4 is no one engaging technology vendors. It has to be engaged by technology. And number 5 is the operating model, which is really capacity-based, product-based, incremental delivery, because this is the way you'll be close enough to decisions and non-stop delivery rather than a very old way of delivering waterfall, big bang, etc. So I think these 5 principles should be a handshake upfront that will empower technology, because if you are not empowered, regardless of your efforts, you are not able to impactful in that business.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. 5 good points there, that's for sure. Do you feel that your elevation into a role like this is proof that, I guess, senior technology people have more influence inside organizations now? Do you expect to see more of these sort of movements from CIO to MD to CEO in the future?
Absolutely. I strongly believe that. And one of my friends sent me an article yesterday. I couldn't read it yet, but the article's header was the next generation of CIO should be coming from the technology line because everything is relying on so much on technology. So as I said, we have an opportunity and the advantage of understand technology, which is really important, but we can learn business. It's not that difficult. It just requires some effort. Whereas others to understand technology is not that easy. So we have to use this advantage. And I strongly believe more and more leaders will be coming through this route. In the past, CFOs was the natural kind of a line to be the next CEO. It's all about numbers, etc. But now we are learning that if you are not satisfying your customers' today's needs or future needs, if you are not really innovating faster than others, you won't be there. And that is coming from technology change. I think we have so much opportunities over there. And I want to share one more thing, which I've been doing with my teams. One of the corporate executive boards research showed that there are 12 key skills missing in technology teams, which is causing slowness, failures, and not delivering what business needs from them. And none of those 12 skills are technical, really. While we work so hard to get stronger in technology and trainings, etc., they are about influencing, they're about communication, they're about business acumen, it's about collaboration, and so on. So all these critical soft skills, which is really critical to be a good business leader, but also you to influence the business and you to deliver effectively. I think technology teams rethink their game, kind of equip their leaders in terms of the core communication influencing skills, because we talk a language our business doesn't understand. It's almost like they know German and you talk French and no chance your message will pass through and you just scratch their head. Why they don't understand me? Because you are not speaking the same language with them.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Now, lastly, Sammy, how are you finding working with the tech team now that you're in the big chair? I mean, what have you learned about, I guess, the relationship between, senior management and the IT group?
Yeah, look, well, it's a very good question, Byron. I realized that some of my previous processes and the people and how we engage business is not really working, especially in terms of understanding the urgencies, priorities from the business's perspective. For instance, when a call from, let's say, a dental practice that their system is done, they think that it's only 5 people, it's not a big priority compared to a huge, let's say, health insurance outages here. Whereas that thing make the whole practice done. You can't serve your customers, but those people doesn't understand it. So I will rethink that how we will understand business, and a problem looks simple, actually how big it is, as well as what they work and think it's a good idea to do versus what's the real business pain points are almost like completely different level. I'll do more work. The technology teams understand businesses and the pain points so that they can align their priorities with us. So that's the piece actually I'm seeing that, okay, I thought I'm really good in terms of aligning with business, which most of the time I believe we were, but I see the gap now. So it was a very good kind of exercise for me to learn more, Brian.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right, Sammy, we will leave it there. It sounds like you've had an interesting couple of months, and I wish you all the best over the next few months, and hopefully, you'll find yourself in a more permanent position as a business leader there. But it's certainly a change from what you've been used to. As I said, you've been at Bupa for quite some time now. You're a bit of a veteran there, so it's great that you're getting new experience across the business. And I'm sure we'll speak again at some point soon. And thank you very much for joining me today on Leadership Live.